Sarah Everett case, Met Police face watchdog investigation. Scotland Yard is to be investigated over its handling of an allegation of indecent exposure against the officers suspected of murdering Sarah Everett. The police watchdog will consider if Metropolitan Police officers responded appropriately to the alleged incidents. Miss Everett, 33, was last seen in Camham, South London, on the 3rd of March. The Met officer arrested on Tuesday on suspicion of her kidnap and murder is back in the Met officer, arrested on Thursday on suspicion of her kidnap and murder, is back in the police station after being treated in hospital for a head injury. On Thursday, Miss Everett's family paid tribute to her, saying, "She brought so much joy to our lives and was a shining example to us all." Police looking for the missing marketing executive said human remains had been found in woodland in Kent on Wednesday, but detectives have not yet been able to confirm their identity. The Independent Office for Police Conduct says it has launched an investigation after receiving 5 referrals from the Met Police in relation to its handling of the case. The watchdog will examine how officers responded after receiving a report that a man had exposed himself at a fast food restaurant in South London on the 28th of February, 3 days before Miss Everett's disappearance. The other referrals were over the arrest of a serving officer on suspicion both of kidnap and murder, and the earlier allegation of indecent exposure. The mass actions after Miss Everett was reported missing, and the injury of the suspect while in custody. The arrested man, who is in his 40s and works with the mass parliamentary and diplomatic protection command, was taken to hospital on Thursday suffering from head injuries. He was treated, discharged, and returned to the police station where he is being held after an application to extend his detention was granted at Wimbledon Magistrates Court. The Met later said he had sustained the injury while alone in his cell and received immediate first aid. Miss Everett was last seen on the 3rd of March walking alone down a main road in Camham at 21:30 GMT, with police saying it was unclear whether she reached her home in Bristol. The former Durham University student, who is originally from York, was wearing a green wing jacket, navy blue trousers with a white diamond pattern, and turquoise and orange trainers when she went missing. In a statement, her family appealed for more information to help solve this terrible crime. Sarah was bright and beautiful, a wonderful daughter and sister. She was kind and thoughtful, caring and dependable. She always put others first and had the most amazing sense of humor, they said. She was strong and principled and a shining example to us all. We are very proud of her, and she brought so much joy to our lives. The case has prompted an outpouring of shock and anger as women across the country share their own experience of feeling unsafe. Organizers of a Reclaim These Streets We Drive planned for Saturday evening on Camhor Common say the police have revised their position and now say it cannot go ahead under the current pandemic lockdown restrictions. They say they are planning legal action. A woman in her 30s who was arrested in Kent on suspicion of assisting an offender has been released on bail until middle April. Sarah Everett caught challenge over Camry withdry ban. Organizers of a retry in response to the disappearance of Sarah Everett are going to the High Court after police said gathering would be unlawful. In a statement, organizer Wickham District said they were told by the Met Police the event would not be allowed amid COVID restrictions. Ms. Everett was last seen on the 3rd of March in Clapham, South London. A withdrawal is planned. A withdrawal. Withdrawal. Vigil. Visual. A visual is planned for Camhur Common on Saturday while sister events are organized for other cities and towns. Among those planned and vigils in Cambridge, Cardiff, Leeds and Liverpool. Vigil. Visual. One of the organizers of the South London event, Anna Bradley, told BBC Video 4's Today program there had been an about-face by police after the group had initially been told they were looking at ways to navigate the difficulties. We were being put under increasing pressure that individually we would be at risk for doing so, but as would everybody who attended and all of the women across the country potentially who have been organizing sister vigils on in their own areas, she said. Miss Bailey added that organizers had emphasized the importance of social distancing and wearing masks and had chosen Hammer Common due to its open nature. Open nature. We have learned nobody is going to protect us. Wickham District said the event was planned by a group of women who wanted to channel the collective grief, outrage, and outrage and sadness in our community. Our plan was to hold a short gathering centered around a minute of silence, they said. They added that by forcing them to cancel the withdrawal, the Met Police would be silencing thousands of women who want to stand up for our rights to feel safe on our streets. In the statement, the organizers said they were aware of the challenges of organizing a COVID secure withdrawal and had proactively reached out to Limburg Council and the Met of Police to ensure the event could safely and legally take place. The police initially said they were developing a local policing plan to allow the withdrawal to take place according to the organizers, but they added, since these statements, the Metropolitan Police have reversed their position and started a redrive would be unlawful and that, as organizers, we could face tens of thousands of pounds in fines and criminal prosecution under the Serious Crimes Act. Human rights lawyers representing Vikram districts have now written to the Met challenging its interpretation of coronavirus legislation. The statement adds, their view is that the Metropolitan Police are wrong in their interpretation of the law, and that socially distant outdoor gathering of this kind are allowed under the current lockdown regulations when read together with the Human Rights Act. It says. It is a statement the Metropolitan Police said, we understand the purpose range of feeling and are aware of the statements issued by Vikram the streets with regard to a parental withdrawal for Sarah Everett in Cam Hoi Common this weekend. We remain in discussion with the organizers about this event in light of the current COVID regulations. Miss Everett has been described as beautiful, thoughtful, and incredible kind by her family. A serving Metropolitan Police officer has been arrested on suspicion of murder in relation to her disappearance, and Scotland Yard is to be investigated over its handling of an allegation of indecent exposure against him. Indecent exposure.